Like most companies promising groundbreaking tech, Tesla and its highly anticipated electric semi has been no stranger to delays. However, with some new information and production promises, the first widely available electric semi might just be right around the corner. Over the course of this video, we're going to take a look at Musk's latest predictions, some specs, and also new images and videos of the truck. If you want to stay up to date with the world of trucking, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. The Tesla website recently uploaded 3 new video clips and photos of the second generation prototype of their electric semi. This comes just after Musk tweeted on August 10th saying, quote, 500-mile range semi truck starts shipping this year. Now this is quite significant because it's the first time his predictions have been moving the expectation forward instead of backwards, as Musk had earlier said the truck would be ready for late 2023. That being said, the newly updated Tesla website does not touch on production timing. However, the order book, which requires a $20,000 deposit to get your name on the waiting list for one of these trucks, now appears closed. While the website used to have a button that said order now, it has also been replaced by a get updates button. Interestingly, the previous pricing of $150,000 for the 300-mile version and $180,000 for the 500-mile truck have also been removed from the website. We'll get into what that might mean a little bit later on. Since the Tesla Semi's first introduction in 2017, the pre-orders are in the many of thousands from both large and small fleets alike. However, one customer, specifically Frito-Lay's, a subsidiary of PepsiCo, is expected to get a delivery of trucks before the rest of the world, 15 to be exact. These 15 trucks had actually been expected to be delivered by the end of 2021. While the company still awaits their new trucks, Tesla has installed a mega charger directly on a Frito-Lay's distribution site in Modesto, California. As for the specs, Tesla has modified some aspects of the prototype. Instead of 4 electric motors, the company has updated the Semi to have 3 independent motors on the rear axles. Tesla promises that the instant torque and power that their electric Semi will provide is unmatched in the industry, which will no doubt come in handy when merging. As of right now, the company says that the truck's 0 to 60 time is a mere 20 seconds for a fully loaded truck of 82,000 pounds and is able to maintain highway speeds at a 5% grade, which surprisingly is the same specs Tesla originally stated when it had 4 independent electric motors. My guess here is that the company actually did a little bit too much engineering in the beginning and over time found that the addition of a 4th motor was negligible, so have since removed it. Also, keep in mind that with the Tesla's Model S Plus, the extra motor's main purpose was to help with traction control, not necessarily deliver more power. Current estimations in regards to the price difference between charging one of these electric trucks and filling a diesel is that diesel costs roughly 2.5 times more than the price of an electric. However, I do think it's noteworthy that Tesla measured this difference by using California diesel prices between February and July, which have been routinely among, if not the most expensive in the country. So taking that into consideration, that price gap is presumably smaller in many states. Using California as the marker though, the company estimates the fuel savings versus a conventional diesel truck is roughly $200,000 over 3 years, which, if true, would pay for the truck and more in just 3 years' time. It's also worth noting that these trucks can recover up to 70% range in just 30 minutes using Tesla's semi-chargers. Let's just hope these trucks aren't like iPhones and mysteriously lose an insane amount of battery every time a new model comes out. I think it's important to keep in mind as well that when Tesla originally laid out plans for this Semi in 2019, their battery tech was nowhere near able to provide these mile ranges with a vehicle as large as a Semi. So they were more so making predictions at that time than unveiling feats they've already accomplished. With that, we've actually seen a slight wording change on the Tesla Semi specs, which has been updated to say the mile range is approximately 300 or 500. Let's just hope their margin of error on that front is small. Let's take a quick look at the Semi's energy consumption, which Tesla says is less than 2 kilowatts per mile. So if we take the kilowatt per mile and factor in the range of 500 miles, that leaves us with assuming that the battery pack will be somewhere shy of just 1 megawatt per hour capacity. That means to get a 70% charge in 30 minutes, as advertised, means the charging station would need to transfer 700 kilowatts of energy to the Semi in just 30 minutes. This would require an average power flow of 1.4 megawatts, which put simply is a lot. We also know that charging for electric vehicles doesn't happen at a consistent rate. Just like most phones or computers, when you first plug in the device, it charges at the lower end much faster than when nearly complete. This means that the initial charging rate for the semis will have to surpass 1.4 megawatts to something like 2 or 3 megawatts, which is unheard of at the moment in any tech that has been scaled to the size they hope to make the electric vehicle market. So I think with all of that in mind, it may be safe to say that this is a bit of misleading marketing on the up to 70% charge in 30 minutes point, as it seems likely this was just in reference to the 300-mile range truck. According to Tesla, advanced motor and brake controls are said to enhance traction and stability in all conditions. What's interesting as well is that the Tesla semis have a central seating position, similar to construction equipment, which is said to provide better visibility. The company also proudly states that the all-electric architecture reduces the likelihood of both rollover risk and the likelihood of cabin intrusion if a crash were to occur. Tesla also mentions how with the help of their remote diagnostics, over-the-air software updates, and fewer moving parts to maintain, operators will spend less time at service centers and more time on the road. One of the video clips that Tesla recently uploaded to their website shows that the cabin also has dual 15-inch screens located on both sides of the steering wheel. These screens will display both blind spot cameras, maps, and diagnostics, although I'm sure there will be a bit of customization available as to what those screens display. Now, I'd love to hear the thoughts of the drivers watching this video on these screens. I know Tesla cars have some pretty cool features with them, such as when being in park, you can play endless amounts of arcade games, watch movies, and so on. Now, I'm far from a video game fanatic, but I can't say it's not cool that you can play racing games with your actual car steering wheel and pedals. These screens, which are better thought of as just short of full-on computers, also allow users to integrate computer games and can even connect your video game controllers to them as well. These screens also offer movies and such. I do imagine that whether it's racing games, movies, or chess, this would help with boredom at truck stops, waiting for loads, charging, and so on. On the other side of the coin, if games like this are a draw, I can see a lot of drivers thinking, I can just get an iPad for a couple $100 and keep on trucking in a diesel, but we'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Now, I wanted to dive into some of the recent politics and how this may affect the EV market. Biden's new Inflation Reduction Act. Now, I'm not going to go into the insanity of thinking government spending hundreds of billions of dollars is going to reduce inflation, when out-of-check government spending was what got us into this mess in the first place, but in this bill, the government is offering a tax credit of up to $7,500 for electric vehicles with a gross weight rate of less than 14,000 pounds, which includes pickup trucks and vans, and up to $40,000 for larger electric vehicles like semis and garbage trucks. Now, everyone usually hears things like this and goes, wow, so much money saving, thanks government. However, what is more likely to happen is that the prices of these items will just rise. While Tesla has taken its truck pricing off of the website, we can look at how Ford increased the price of their electric trucks by literally the exact same amount as the credit within days of the tax credit being announced. All things considered, this means Tesla could raise prices of their trucks by roughly $40,000 without supposedly changing the costs to the consumer. Except I don't buy that, because at the end of the day, if the government gives up taxes in one area, you can always be certain they'll make up for it in another. It's important to remember with things like these that the house always wins. Anyways, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Will you be itching to get behind the wheel of one of these new electric Tesla semis, or are you going to ride out the rest of your trucking days behind the wheel of a diesel? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it's a huge help to keep this channel going, and we'll catch you next time.